You're watching Experience Comic Culture and Sales. Streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
2, 1.
Hey, happy Monday. So quick shout out to everyone in the room. Let me see here. I got Triple B, I got Alberto, I got CJ, Leonard, Big John. Let's see, did I get CJ?
Everybody.
I did. Let's see, Road Collecting, what's going on, buddy? So, and Marcus, how you doing, buddy? Marcus, you should have gotten an email from me. You didn't? Maybe I didn't send it to you.
It might be like the emails that you send to me, non-existent.
No, I never send you emails.
It's fictitious. No.
At most I text you, no show or show or, what's going on in South Jersey food scene. Marcus,
a mess, man.
I did get one, and I made up an invoice for you. Maybe I didn't ship it, or rather email it to you. I'm sorry if I didn't. You'll get it, but yes, we do have it, buddy. And it's packed and ready to go. I just need to get you Mike ads bill.
That sounds like quite the racket. Oh, I've sent you an invoice. No comic.
No, I got the comics packed up. No, it's seriously sitting in the box. But I must have done the email. I must have done the invoice. I forgot to email it to you, Marcus. So you're good to go there, bud. You should see it soon. TJ, what's going on, buddy? Well, with John, I don't even. I just don't send me emails, dude.
No, I'm being ignored by people higher up on the food chain at this company.
It's not packed. It's ready to be packed. Let me rephrase, Marcus. So if you want, let me know what you want, dude, and we'll dig it up for you. But I do have the invoice, which I'll send out in between a break or during the show or something like that, buddy. All right. So
as you can see, I'm wearing my Green Hornet shirt.
Yeah, go ahead.
One of my many Green Hornet shirts.
Go ahead.
Dynamite has announced that, now finally I can talk about it. Dynamite has announced that I think November solicitations will be Green Hornet Miss Fury #1, which I'm looking forward to. And this was the super exciting part. This made it harder to keep quiet for sure. It's being written by Alex Segura, currently killing it on Dick Tracy. Anytime Green Hornet is assigned a creator that understands pulp, that makes me very happy. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm very much looking forward to that. We don't see nearly enough Miss Fury, and unless Green Hornet is a weekly, I'm never happy. So I'm very much, this is like an early Christmas present from Dynamite to me, which I very much appreciate.
So Robbie, what is the movie for tonight? I saw you post something on your Facebook page, but
tonight's movie is a Hammer classic from 1961, starring Oliver Reed, Curse of the Werewolf.
Very cool.
That's going to be a fun one. It's one of my favorite Hammer films, and what's crazy is that they've got like dozens of movies, right? And they did so many Dracula movies, so many Frankenstein movies. They even did a handful of mummy movies. They only ever did one werewolf film, and it's this one, and it's Oliver Reed's first starring role. Terrence Fisher directed it. It's a great movie. If nobody's ever checked it out, definitely check out Curse of the Werewolf.
I guess the makeup and costumes were a little tough to do, I guess.
Werewolves in general always suffer from that, right? Because it requires so much. There's a great extra on the American Werewolf in London, 30th anniversary DVD.
Which truly was revitalized the genre.
Talking about that's essentially, you're talking about that's what hamstrings the genre, right? vampires are relatively easy to do. Yeah, sure.
You fake the teeth.
You can go nuts with practical effects, and there's always been a certain level of optical effects, special effect, even before CGI or whatever. Mummy, you can do those things with good costumes and lighting. Turning a man into, a man wolf, so to speak, there's just no easy way to do that. I think for a very long time, that's why you've got like the Lon Chaney Wolfman that sort of lasts, because you know what I mean? They actually adapted that look 50-something years or 60-something years later when they did Teen Wolf, that thing on MTV years ago, the TV show. They literally grabbed that sort of look because it works. It worked.
The Oliver Reed Wolfman makeup for the Curse of the Werewolf is really spectacular, right?
Yeah.
And the Jake Pierce stuff that he did with Lon Chaney is iconic, right? But this one like had a little bit of a different quality to it. And so maybe that had something to do with it, but they made all those Frankenstein movies, so I know that the British censors really went after this movie. They went after it hard for like having blood on his lips. And at the time, there was some pretty provocative imagery in here involving death and sex kind of put together. And I think they just kind of shied them away from it. The movie was cut to shreds until 1992 when we finally got the full uncut version of it. And it's tame by today's standards. You know what I'm saying? But even like they were worried about the implied bestiality in it and stuff yeah. So like all kinds of weird stuff back in the 60s.
That cropped up even
this was right after Psycho too, right? So right after Psycho, and like they're super like nervous about like censorship and stuff like that at the time.
Hey, Tacoma, which date? Because that's weird. I think there's something going on with my email. So which date, which show are you referring to? Let me know. That's weird.
Would you use a Comcast email, Rex? Because that might be your problem right there.
It's been weird. I don't know why. So Tacoma, do me a favor. Tell me the date, would you?
Triple B throws up a cool question, kind of ties a little bit into Horror Fest, asking if I saw The Crow. I don't know if Robbie's seen The Crow.
Have you? I assume you have.
Yeah.
I watched it. I did a review. I dropped today.
Oh, did you? Okay, then I don't feel so bad. It's been out for a little bit. You know what? I don't know if it's just one of those things where I'm so comfortable with the original that the remake just didn't connect with me. I can't. I'm not going to sit there and bash filmmakers or bash actors, but it's just it just didn't connect with me. I went and I saw it twice to make sure, and it wasn't. I guess I hate to say it, but I guess certain movies it's just going to be real difficult for them to get me to like. Like it didn't matter how good Seth Rogen was in Green Hornet, I wasn't going to like that movie,
right? Because
he's not the Green Hornet. He's not Fred Reed. I don't care that they're trying to riff on Kevin Smith. Stop. Just no. Stop. That being said, some people love the movie. A lot of people did not like it, especially in Green Hornet. I'm understanding a lot of the Crow fans are not digging this movie. I didn't think it was bad. I didn't necessarily think it was The Crow. And I just think it's just kind of hard to, I don't know, certain roles are really hard to fill. And I think this is one of those, and I'll tell you who else, maybe it has to do with the fact that there's an untimely death involved, but I pity the next guy who tries to be the Black Panther.
That's true.
And I kind of felt this way about The Crow. Like, Marcus, I watched The Crow twice. No, it wasn't. I love the story of The Crow. It just wasn't what I wanted to say. And I kind of knew that going in, but I still sort of,
Well, I'm a big fan of the James O'Barr work, right? Like I'm a big fan. I've met James O'Barr a couple of times. I did a panel with him earlier this year in which he mentions that he got to read the script for this Crow because they wanted him involved. He read the script and said, "No, thank you. Just I'll take my check and you do what you want and whatever." Because they made some changes to the source material, but they did that with the Brandon Lee movie as well, right? And I love the Brandon Lee movie. I love the 94 Crow, but to me, it's not a perfect adaptation of the source material. This one
You're absolutely
really
right.
deviates from the source material in some elements, but I'm right there with you, dude. I'm not going to say it's a good movie, but I'm not going to say it's the worst movie of the year, and that's what everybody's saying right now.
Big John would agree with both of you.
Well, no, I think Castle is going to be like in Castle's Corner. It sucked, but moving on, and he picks up the next.
Well, I don't know. Like, there's elements about the movie I like. Like, they really linger and try to build up the relationship between Eric and Shelley. And I was on board for all of that. I was down for it. But it's like it's got like a third act problem. Like that big final thing at the opera music was the wrong choice there, John. You know what I'm saying? Like it just tonally clashed with the rest of the movie. But I think Bill Skarsgård did really good for the script.
Yeah, I think he did similar to, and I'm not saying it's as bad as Morbius, but similar to Jared Leto in Morbius. He did his level best with the source material. Right. So when people ask me why Morbius wasn't good, I'm not going to blame Jared Leto, and I'm certainly not going to blame oh God, I can't think of his name.
Bill Skarsgård.
And in the case of The Crow, I'm not going to blame Bill Skarsgård.
Gotcha.
These people did their level best with what they were given. This sort of takes place in those rooms with the creators and the laptops and the 3 a.m. Zoom calls and all this other stuff. You've got to kind of tinker that out. You know what I mean? You've got to hammer that stuff out. And I think Robbie really hit the nail on the head with this. Here's the source material, right? And let's just imagine it's a target. The source material is the bullseye. The further out you miss, the further out you move from the target, the source material, yeah, the 94 was not perfect at all. And that was the first thing a lot of people screamed in that 94 movie, because J.O. Barr, when The Crow came out, he was in like an almost elite level of creators where, you know, he was walking on water because The Crow was such like a groundbreaking thing for that era when it came out. Movie came out, people immediately are doing the pointing thing like this isn't the source material, but it's still good. Brandon Lee does his level best in the job. You know, people loved it. People still watch it, kind of a cult classic or whatever. I don't have a lot of high hopes for this Crow being anything more than a TNT Instant Classic at like 2:00 in the morning after wrestling or something.
Well, I'll tell you this though. I think it's the second best Crow movie, but once again, that's there's not a lot of competition there. So
and the opera was weird. I have like an eclectic range in music tastes. I mean, my wife and I have gone to the opera and stuff like that. You know, I've paid money to see an opera. So I consider myself at least a casual fan. That's just weird. It was just the score shifts into the operatic mode, and I'm just like, what are we doing?
So most of America agrees with all three of you. I heard box office was very weak. All right, so you probably didn't see a whole lot of people in the theaters.
No, well, the first time I saw it, I was quite literally by myself. About an hour into it, an employee of the theater comes in and sits down. And my guess is she's just waiting to sort of, you know, kind of killing some time, cleaning up or whatever. And literally she doesn't know, it's just me there with like a soda cup. Right. So, you know, and then the second time I saw it, I was in a row and it seemed like everybody decided the E row was the perfect row to see this in. There's like 7 of us in the theater. We're all in one row and we're all looking at each other and laughing. A few people split up. One person got up and left. They just sort of, they get to an exterior shot and he's like, okay. And I see he's got like the classic Crow shirt on. You know what I mean? That I'd seen this shirt, the shirt like 100 times at cons in the early 2000s. The guy just gets up and leaves. My guess is he's a hardcore Crow fan and he's pretty turned off by what he's seeing. Nobody left this movie. Everybody was sort of like, eh. One comment I heard a woman say, I've wasted $20 on worse stuff than this. But nobody was like, you know, yes, this was great.
So I heard box office was dismal.
the box office was really bad.
It's pretty anemic. I don't know if they didn't do enough advertising or.
No, it was word of mouth, man. As soon as they dropped those first images of him with the tattoos and everything and the haircut, like people were already turned off. People already turned against this movie. And I mean, my expectations were low. There's a lot about the movie that I enjoyed. I don't think it's as bad as most people are saying. And honestly, in the movie, the tattoos and the haircut and stuff, it didn't bother me. I thought he actually he gave a very authentic performance as that version of this character.
I'll say this. I don't think that movie's shortcomings are because of wardrobe style. I don't know if tattoos are considered part of wardrobe, costuming, haircut. That's not why that movie isn't clicking. I'll tell you right now. I'm not enough of an expert, cinemaphile to tell you the specific technical reasons. I know it's not.
Well, I'll tell you. It's a little too try hard. It's trying too hard at times, right? Like with the opera scene, it's trying too hard to make you feel something instead of just allowing the authenticity of the performance and the strength of the source material. And the biggest problem I have with the movie is in the original story, The Crow, and in the Brandon Lee movie, it's a random act of violence by criminals that kill Shelley and Eric, right? In this one, it's this like demonic, satanic conspiracy, and that was unneeded, 100%.
I don't know who in the credits was responsible for that element of the movie, but that person should be told, look, maybe you should find something else to do with your life.
So
that was not good.
I would agree with Big John. I think the problem is that, number one, you shouldn't have remade it. Okay, it was a bad idea. The odds were against you in every way, shape.
It's a great property, but I don't. You know what I mean?
Because and the other thing, man, let's get this out of the way. Like, I think people need to not view it as a remake of another movie and another adaptation of James O'Barr's work. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I guess a lot of people, I think they're more fans of the movie than the comic, and that kind of bothers me, just being like the nerd that I am, the fan of O'Bar's work. Because the original comic is something very special and very unique and very artistically expressive.
When that comic came out, it put him in an immediate upper echelon of creators with just one book. Here's my story that I'm telling. And that immediately moved that guy into, at the time, books like Faust. And that creators were doing one book, and the artistic element of the book was putting them into an upper echelon with people that had done 20 different books over 20 different years. And people were reaching that area with one book, late 80s into the 90s, stuff in black and white. It's hard to explain to someone who wasn't there.
It's similar to Turtles, right? It's similar to Turtles with what Eastman and Laird did with that, right? Like one comic that they did by themselves. And, they're doing Turtles as a goof. The Crow was a way for James O'Barr to deal with some of the trauma and pain that he was dealing with from his girlfriend being killed by a drunk driver, and that authenticity. They're trying too hard in this one with the look, with the aesthetic of it. They're trying too hard with the villains. They're trying too hard to make it relevant to what they think film audiences will want today, instead of just staying true to the core. It doesn't matter. Like, Eric doesn't have to be a musician. Eric can be a druggie. They can meet in rehab. They can do all that stuff, right? You can make all these little changes. You got to stay true to the core of the source material. They lose a little bit. One of the weird things about this movie is that he becomes the Crow and then fails and then really becomes the Crow. So it's a weird, clunky kind of pace with it too, right? And a lot's I don't know. There are things I like about it, but a lot I don't. But it's not as bad. It's not Madam Web.
Well, imagine if they tried to do Spider-Man and somehow Uncle Ben isn't involved. Not only does he not die, he's not even really involved. He's just a character.
I think the problem was that no matter what you did, you were always going to have to be a dead guy.
There's that.
And right away, I think that the odds were against you. The deck was stacked against you. I think Big John put it best. He loved the Crow with Brandon Lee. Yeah. So inevitably, someone like John is going to make that comparison in his head.
That's why I said I was kind of waiting for Robbie and some of the more, I'm going to say, objective viewers of this, because I was just like, I'm going to go in and see it because, well, first of all, I don't see everything pretty much. And second of all, I'm hoping it's good. I knew it would. It's like if you jump in the water and you're hoping it's not cold, but it's the first day your pool is open, and that's like ice water you're jumping into. It's just how it is. And that was sort of what happened. I knew there was a problem when I saw a clip of a reviewer from the UK, and she's sort of covering the stuff, and she admits that she's unfamiliar with kind of like the Irish myth around the Revenant sort of situation, which is kind of where James O'Barr gets, not to say it's not original work, but the Irish horror mythology inspires what he does, right? When the person who she's interviewing is working on the movie and doesn't know what, is proud to say, I don't even know what that is, that's a problem. Because like Robbie said, that's the essence of that movie. It's James O'Barr working out personal tragedy through this story of the Revenant, where I was wrongly killed, and I kind of come back to sort of, balance the scales, or however you want to look at it. And there's different elements to it, but essentially that's the story. It's a story of trying to right a wrong. And I don't know if you get that from this last version of The Crow. It's just not.
I think once again, I think that they started off. That's why everyone had such a bad reaction to the trailer. It was just you're fighting an uphill battle. Yeah. This movie really, if Brandon Lee didn't die, how would it have done in the box office? Because it was the time when these kind of movies didn't necessarily take hold. So
no, they didn't. That was sort of.
And Brandon Lee. Now, would it have been a cult classic? Who knows? It might have still been. But because Brandon Lee died in such a tragic way during the filming, I think that vaulted the film to a certain level. A lot of people that may not have watched it ended up watching it, and they liked it.
It's going to be difficult to make a Crow movie, period. They've never done it successfully since. So I'm just going to say, this is not the Edward Furlong Crow movie. If y'all think this movie's bad, go watch that one. You know what I'm saying?
That's Blade 3 territory.
Yeah, but I think that ultimately you were always fighting this battle, okay?
Well, that's why I referenced the Black Panther thing.
Yeah.
I don't, of course there'll be another Black Panther, right? Of course there will be. They sort of had the character of Shuri sort of try to kind of pinch hit in the role for the second Black Panther movie, kind of like she did in the comics.
Yeah, but I think it's even worse than Black Panther because Brandon Lee died during the filming.
Yeah.
Okay, during an accident during the production of the movie. Obviously what happened to Chadwick Boseman was very tragic, but he didn't die as a result of making
No,
Black Panther.
It's just not
kind of a different.
The biggest problem with every Crow movie is it's not that. I mean, I get the Brandon Lee tragedy, but like for instance, Heath Ledger died while making Dark Knight, okay? And Christopher Nolan was right. He didn't recast Joker for that trilogy. But then you got Joaquin Phoenix, who wins an Academy Award. That movie makes $1 billion. So the strength of the character is there, but honor that. Like the problem is Hollywood keeps getting a hold of The Crow and go on, oh, what do emo goth kids like? They don't actually know. They don't care what the story actually is and what it represents or what that character is. They just kind of try to do whatever they think a goth kid today will like. And that's where they fail.
Not to mention the middle-aged people in suits pretending to be in their 20s, but they're really in their 40s. The emo goth kids don't even call themselves emo goth kids anymore. So you're already marketing to no one.
Yeah.
Right? It's like a very different world.
Yeah.
The only way you get a Crow movie made is you bring in James O'Barr and say, look, tell me what I need to do to get from here, and I hold up his comic, to here, and I point to a flat screen in my office. What do I need? That's how you get that done correctly.
All right, so
we have to go to a break, right?
Yeah, we do. Okay, when we come back, we'll get started.
We might sell over 2 comics. We'll see.
Yeah, but I did want to address that. I was reading about that today online, and to say I was surprised would be a lie. I mean, I kind of saw this one coming. I think we all did. I think we talked about it once on your show. What we thought was going to happen with that. So, all right, hang out.
We'll be back in a couple minutes to sort of start this thing, I guess.
more Battle Quest comics at your local comic shop today.
By this time in our journey, we had been on the trail of a very elusive creature for about 96 hours. But all the hard work is about to pay off. Oh, crikey, there she is. Oh, by the markings, I'd say this one's at least a 9.8. Oh, she's a real beauty. A true mint copy. Oh, this one would make a fine slab on anyone's display wall. Oh, she's a feisty one, though. Look out, look out!
Mint Hunter Comics is the place to find that mint comic you've been searching for. Mint Hunter Comics, Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, part of the experience.
Did you know that Arthur, King of the Britons in Monty Python and the Holy Grail was played by a famous Graham? Check out another famous Graham by following our Instagram.
Hey, we're back.
We're back.
All right, so Tacoma, that is a spawn, you see? Oh, wait.
Give it away now. Give it away now.
All
Give it away now. Red Sonia #2, John Royal. For free.
That is the
Nice.
giveaway of the night, and let's make it.
Oh, here, I'll hold that for safekeeping. Yeah.
Okay, let's keep it as far away from John as possible.
Yeah, you put
So,
that on the
all right,
other side
so-
of our bag.
Let's make the hashtag EXP Crow. How about that?
That's good.
There you go. All lowercase. If you would, please, Jay. Thanks, Alex. All right.
Real
So-
quick before we started too, I saw Castle.
Mhm.
Kind of like shout out to his name was Sid Udy, but Sid Justice, Sid Vicious, pretty popular wrestler in both WCW and the WWE, passed away after, according to his son, a lengthy battle.
Cancer.
Yeah, with cancer.
It wasn't public.
It was, he was sort of keeping that, he didn't, apparently, one of the, Hal Haney was 2 tables down from him. People kind of know Hal Haney because he does all these wrestling covers to look like comic book covers, right? And Hal Haney was 2 tables down from him like a week or 2 ago and did not even know that Sid was sick. And then Sid's son, Gunnar, was on social media saying, yeah, just kind of, my dad didn't want to make a big deal out of it, but, he passed away.
All right. So this is the giveaway of the night. It's EXP, a hashtag EXP Crow, all lowercase. You only need to enter once. All right. So let's get
The
started.
more you enter, the more chances you have to win, like the lottery.
All right. So, as always, we start with Dynamite 10-pack reader set, 10 random Dynamite titles. A cover price of $3.99 or higher, so minimum $40 or higher. And as always, we have it for $5. And then we have the Dynamic Forces grab bag 10-pack, $1 comic, and we've got that Indie Marvel DC titles, and we've got that for $10. What's up, Alberto?
Yeah, Castle, I agree with you. He was a monster, and he was sort of a monster that could actually move around a little bit. There were some guys in wrestling that were super tall, super heavy, and, you had to kind of work around them. Ric Flair commented about, it's almost, in some cases, it's almost like wrestling stature. You have to do all the work, and they just sort of sit there and look intimidating. Sid Udy was an accomplished, like a pro level softball player. This was a guy that had a lot going on for him, and he was sort of happy to just low key his life.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that takes a lot. I hate to say it, but we see a lot of old wrestlers now that, they haven't aged gracefully. especially in the age of social media. Sid was a guy that literally, quote unquote, took his ball and went home. Yeah, that was one of the most, Eddie, that was one of the most horrible, like live on TV. The guy hops off the second turnbuckle and snaps his leg. That was brutal, man. That was absolute. Still came back.
All right, so next up we have the DF Grab Bag 15-pack, same deal. Indie Marvel DC, $1 a comic, and we've got that for $15. All right, so then we have the X-Men Random 20-pack grab bag. 20 random X-Men titles from 1990s with a chance of the 1980s or 2000. Books are 9.0 or better, and we have that for $20. And the best deal of all time, you grab bag combo, you get the 10-pack, the 10-pack grab bag, the 15-pack, and the 20-pack X-Men. So all four for $25.
Yeah, that's a great way to just kind of, pick up gifts for people, fill up collections. I mean, that is a huge fistful of comics for $25.
All right, so then we got the DF mystery box. It includes 2 CGC 9.8s, 1 Virgin cover, 1 signed cover, 1 exclusive cover, and 10 random back issues. $200 minimum value guaranteed, and we've got it for 100. You know what? As a thank you guys always watching, we're going to do it for $85 tonight.
And the 2 slabs are worth $85. Everything else is essentially comped at that point.
Good point. All right. So here we go. Starting with,
and y'all remember, okay? The more of these mystery boxes we sell at that price, the more we lead Alex to an early grave. So y'all check that out. Just saying. Maybe if you want to help her out.
Let's get Eric out. Let's get Alex out the box early. Come on.
Okay, then.
6 of these.
Maybe
Robbie,
Alex could be the next Crow.
Robbie got saucy today. Got off on the wrong side of the bed there.
Oh, man, there's going to be a new collecting dude. It'll be the same account, just a new operator.
All right. So, starting with the sketch covers. So, Space Ghost #1 was Space Ghost cover sketch by, and this is a collage by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza.
I love this one. This is very, very cool. I remember when I saw this at Mariano's desk or in the box where he keeps his stuff.
It's amazing it's still there. All right, you got it, Big John.
John, this thing is very cool. I'm glad to see someone pick that up.
So
good, Mike. Mike picked up, Mike received his Dynamite mystery box today.
Oh, cool. Very cool, Mike. May 2, what's going on? No, it is Jay tonight. Jay on Mondays, JD on Wednesdays. All right, so next up we have Spider-Gwen Shadow Clones #1 with Ghost Spider cover sketch by Kirstine Danica Lim. I'm really loving her work. It's kind of a pencils, pastel kind of look.
This is gorgeous. This looks great on that pink blank, dude. It really does. This is amazing.
And I think this works really well for this character. We talked about that before. Sometimes art styles and characters click, don't click. I think this is like hand in glove.
So the only downside is she is located all the way in the Philippines. So it takes a while to get books to her and takes a while to get books back. So we tend to have a long lead time for her, but and everything, as you look closer, it has a pastel kind of pencil-y look to it, because that's probably the medium that she is using, because most everybody's using acrylic paint pens, that kind of thing. So I really like some of the stuff that she's had out there.
And when they announced the Spider-Man movie,
Preston,
this
correct.
will be $600.
Suggested retail of $129.99, and we have it tonight for $75. All right.
Yeah, that's a great announcement. Preston's right. It's a great, and it has a chalk look to it.
Yeah.
There's some very cool chalk artists who, during the protests at Princeton University, were just doing these amazing pieces of art. And I was, they were trying to figure out how to preserve them. And even they were like, it's chalk on the sidewalk, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you couldn't do it. Sometimes they would actually have these sketches that bled off into Nassau Street.
Right.
Well, morning came and traffic came.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? You would see, they had great video of like cars would stop. and there's nowhere to go. Nassau Street's just a street in town, right? There's nowhere to turn. So people were, and they knew it. You know, they know that their stuff is short-lived.
Yeah, it's meant
a
to
medium.
kind of disappear. It's there for a minute and then it's gone.
They had an interview with one, and she came from, I think, if I remember, Montreal, and she was talking about it's meant to evoke a feeling, and feelings don't last forever, and neither does the art. And I thought that was very, very young too. I think she was like 16. She was there with her parents. Super talented.
Nicely said.
You know what? It's so funny. Everyone is looking at these things being all moved. And I'm thinking, if I had some of Mariano's business cards, I would be handing them out. Because some of these people.
No doubt, right? He's always looking.
Yeah.
He's always looking to.
And that's very similar to what they were doing.
Market.
I mean, not quite this refined level, but the same energy.
All right. Next up, we have another favorite of mine, Tony Scott. Avenging Spider-Man #1 with Spider-Punk cover sketch by Tony Scott. It's just a retail of $129.99, and we've got it for $75.
This one looks sharp. It's got a great like angular kind of style. It's got some Joe Madureira type fingers there, and Spider-Punk like a standout character from the last Spider-Verse movie for sure.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. John's already got it.
Yeah,
that's like Joe Madureira. You know what I'm saying? You see the look there with the arms and the fingers and the head. Like I get a lot of Joe Mad.
Reminds me slightly of that. The more I look at it, it almost looks like it's a still from the movie.
All right, so then we've got
very cool
Spider-Gwen Shadow Clones #1 with Electra cover sketch by Tracy Medina. It's just a retail of $129.99. We have it for $75. I'm gonna do this one tonight for $35. Right off the bat, I'm slapped. I'm feeling kind of crazy.
Well, you know what?
One of my favorite characters right there, Electra, man. Frank Miller created, fantastic character. This is a really cool job. I mean, and once again, making it work on pink cannot be that easy to make that red pop so much on pink, man.
I was thinking that too. I'm glad you said it. When I see this on a pink blank, I'm like,
So if you're ever in our offices and you listen to, because Mariano during the course of the day talks to a lot of young, aspiring artists, and
shatters their hopes
and
dreams,
crushes and shatters any. But it does. Sometimes I overhear the conversations, and he makes it seem like, I hate to say it, but he hangs up the phone and I feel depressed and I have no hopes of being an inspiring artist, right? He paints such a dismal picture of it, right? Which I got to give him credit because he's telling the truth. And I think a lot of times people don't tell the truth. So if you are an aspiring artist who's watching tonight, if you're going to send samples of your work to any publisher, okay? One thing that I didn't know until I started listening to his conversations with young artists, a lot of them send pinups, kind of like cover artwork, that kind of thing. As soon as you send that, from what I understand, editors will just pretty much toss it in the trash. They want to see your ability to make panel to panel stories. Okay, that's what they want to see. And so it's more than just having the gift of being an artist. It's really, can you do the work on a deadline, which is very relevant. So, something to think about. But
a lot of people can draw pretty pictures, but can you tell a story visually, and can you do it under a deadline? That's why John Romita Jr. is one of the GOATs, because he can tell a story, he can draw pretty pictures if he has the time, and he knows how to get it done in the deadline. Yeah.
So I gotta say that there's no doubt that Ken Hazer can do it. All right, with the speed that guy cranks stuff out, it's just amazing.
There was a comic book artist documentary on Amazon Prime a couple of years ago. I don't know if it's still there, but they actually talked about that being the number one thing. Yes, art, technical drawing ability, super important. And it was someone who teaches at the Kubert School. And they talked about all these things, and they said, once you become a professional and you decide this is what you do for a living, the most important thing. Yeah, it's great to have a connection with the art, the writer, blah, blah, blah. You have to be able to meet your deadline.
Right.
Because you miss one or two deadlines and you become the anti-deadline artist, and nobody wants to hire you.
Here's the thing. And Marcus, what you say is correct. Okay? What you say is correct, but here's the problem. Nobody is going to hire you to be a cover artist, not Dynamite, not anybody, if you are an unknown. Okay? That's essentially it. You notice the covers.
Well, that's like industry-wide. No, I'm sorry,
right. So you need to be able to break in first.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you get the cover art. Maybe you're better at that than panel work. Whatever. All right.
You have to have such an a unique style, an exceptionally high level of talent that you can just walk in and say, well, here you go. And anecdotally, the last person that did that and remained a success in the industry was Alex Ross. He talks about that. He literally walked in and said, this is what I can do. And but so if you're not at that level, it's super, super difficult to kind of, break in if you don't have all the other things checked off.
And I see some comments out there in the chat, like the Art Germ comment. Yeah, I've never seen Art Germ do interiors. I've never seen Lucio Perillo do interiors either. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't, but they were people who made a name for themselves that caused these companies like Dynamite or DC or Marvel to go after them specifically. Art Germ, I think, got his start really on DeviantArt. I think everybody was really loving his stuff there, and that's why he became a popular cover artist, right? But cover artist, that's way different than telling a story. And then CJ, your Liefeld comment. Liefeld knows how to lay out a comic book page. I'll tell you that. Yeah. Liefeld's got some talent that a lot of people don't give him enough respect for. So, but I'm a Liefeld guy.
By his own admission, he's a guy that you can make fun of, right? By his own admission. I'm a guy that you take shots at for a variety of reasons, right? But when I see people, we've all made jokes about Rob Liefeld, the feet, this, that, belt buckles, blah, blah, blah. We've all had to, in a serious conversation about Rob Liefeld, if you're denying that he's not like a top level talent and sells comics, you're just making stuff up.
Well, we know he did because he when they broke off and created an image with Jim.
Yeah. And y'all know firsthand because y'all's Thundercat numbers went crazy up when Rob Liefeld's FOC cover got announced. You know what I'm saying? I got all of his FOC covers, dude. Yep. I got the regular ones and I got the black and white ones, dude. There's something about Rob Liefeld I love, right? And he's kind of like Kevin Eastman. A lot of people may not like the style, but that dude, both of them know how to lay out a page, man.
Yeah, I'm glad that actually came up.
So before we go to the next break, here are the last two sketch covers. All right, next up we got Deadpool #1 with Deadpool cover sketch by Will Torres. Suggested retail of $129.99. We have for $75. I'm going to discount this one $35 as well.
Right off the bat. People making comments that Deadpool and Wolverine, they've had their 15 minutes of fame and then the MCU will move on. No.
Yeah, not now.
They will be at the center of MCU 2.0 or Phase 8 or whatever you want to call it.
I would agree.
There won't be much going on without them. That this isn't just a successful movie in terms of money.
They got Hugh Jackman till he's 90, right? So
90.
All right, so now we got last one, G.I. Joe #301.
Oh, nice.
Snake Eyes cover sketch by our friend Ken Hazer, who we just were talking about.
Ken likes this character. He said it in a little video when he was doing this. He was talking about, he works fast, but he even has like more energy when it's a character he likes.
All right, suggested retail $149.99, and we have it at $82 tonight. All right, and those are our sketch covers for the night. And we'll do a quick recap and move on to sign books. But we got to take our second break.
We'll be back in a bit.
Symphonic verses, Nocturne's romance. A song of romanticized darkness, dreaming death by sleep.
According to a statistic that I just made up, people spend 4 hours a day changing the television channel. People who watch The Experience don't do that. Save yourself a ton of time by tuning into The Experience and enjoying our new original programming 7 days a week. And then tell your friends. Think about the money they could save on batteries in the remote alone just by tuning into The Experience. Find out more by scanning the QR code below. What do you call the place on Spider-Man's wrists where the webs come out? His website. I hate myself for writing that joke, but you'd make me feel so much better if you just visited our website. We have links to our merch, new release lists, all the show info, and so much more. TheEXPLive.com.
In a world where you hit like and subscribe on our YouTube channel.
That'd be really great, thanks.
All right, so
We are back.
We are back. All right, so this is giveaway of the night, Red Sonja number 2.
It should be a Robbie dance video from what I've seen.
All right, the hashtag is up on the screen. Hashtag EXP, Crow, all lowercase. All right, so as always, we did the 10-pack. Dynamite 10-pack reader set for $5. The DF grab bag 10-pack for $10. The DF grab bag 15-pack for $15. The X-Men random 20-pack grab bag for $20. And of course, the grab bag combo for $25. So you get all 4. All right, and then the DF mystery box. 2 CGC 9.8s, 1 Virgin, 1 sign cover, 1 exclusive, 10 random back issues. So minimum retail value of $200, and we usually sell it for $100. So that's already 50% off. But tonight we're doing it for $85, and I know a ton of you have bought them in the past. I know Mike Asbill said he just got one, and he was very happy. Alex always makes the best picks he can for you.
Yeah, it's a nice way to pick up some books.
Yeah, it is. Quick way. All right, so then we've got Spider-Gwen, Shadow Clones number 1 with Ghost Spider cover sketch by Kirstine Danica Lim. It's just a retail of $129.99. We've got it for $75. I'll make this one $70 tonight. So right off the bat, I am slashing.
I really like that. That's really unique. That's like a cover I would want, even if I'm not like the hugest fan of Spider-Man, because I just love the uniqueness of the style.
So that was Batman.
No, Batman is no, that's not true. Somebody I talk to pretty regularly on Twitter is Matt Wagner. And, Matt Wagner could draw anything with Batman. I'd be like, okay, Matt, where do you want me to send the money? That'd be fine.
All right, so then we got Spider-Gwen's Shadow Clones number 1 with Elektra cover sketch by Tracy Medina.
This is good.
Suggested retail of $129.99. We did have a price at $75. I lowered that to $35. You know what? I'm going to lower that again to $30. All right, then we have Deadpool number 1 with Deadpool cover sketch by Will Torres. Suggested retail of $129.99. We have for $75. I lowered it to $35. You got it, Preston.
That's a nice pickup, Preston. And Robbie mentioned it. I'm glad he did. Pulling off that look on a pink blank, not the easy stay at the office.
All right, so the Deadpool number 1, $129.99 retail. We had it priced at $75. I lowered it to $35. I'll lower this one to $30 as well.
that you were?
All right, that's me. All right, and then we got G.I. Joe number 301 with Snake Eyes cover sketch by Ken Hazer. It's just a retail of $149.99. We have it at 82. I'll lower that to 70 tonight.
No. No matter how you low you make these prices, they'll never love you. So you might as well charge them full price.
Oh God, John, you were day drinking. I can tell. I wish I could do that.
It was only part of the day. I mean, I guess Jay or
Well,
whoever,
you would be here if it was all day.
Jay or Kyle or whoever posted on Twitter. Literally, I was at the bar and this popped up. Hey, tonight's Comic Collectables. I'm like, oh, it's Monday. Well, after that, it was like a black coffee with 5 sugars
It's nice
to
to be
go.
retired, I guess. All right, so here we go. All right, so next up we got Turok, Dinosaur Hunter number 3, signed by Greg Pak. It's just a retail of $49.99. We have it at $25 tonight.
And I loved when Dynamite was suing the Gold Key characters. I really did. Turok was really good. Magnus Robot Fighter was really good. Dr. Spectre was really good. Mark Waid's take on Dr. Spectre was very cool.
All right, so then next up we got Thundercats number 2 by Dave Nakayama, signed by Declan Shalvey. It is a Dynamite.com exclusive, and we have it tonight for $24.99.
That's one of my favorite things to pinch from the other room.
What?
You can only get it through the website. No, I got it in the break room. It's fine.
All right, so Spawn number 300. Commander in Beef, what's up? Encore edition signed by Greg Capullo. It's just a retail of $69.99, and we have it tonight for $35.
Wow. This is one of these comics where they were like pushing and shoving for when it came out.
All right, so then we've got Jennifer Blood number 1, signed by cosplayer Rachel Holland. It's just a retail of $49.99, and we have it tonight for $20.
I was signed with green ink because I asked.
Thank you, John. Anybody playing the drinking game? Now's the time.
Yes.
All right. So then we've got the Invincible Red Sonja number 1, Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor. Signed Atlas editions, just a retail of $75. And we've got it for $40 tonight.
Yeah, Triple B, that Jennifer Blood has your name on it. That was the first thing I thought of when I walked in and saw that. Oddly enough, Jimmy Palmiotti on Twitter today, Preston wants to Jennifer Blood.
You got it, Preston.
Jimmy Palmiotti tweets today. We follow each other on Twitter, and he tweets today, when will I become critically acclaimed? And I had, thankfully, I just saw it as it popped up, and I said, spoiler alert, sir. You've been critically acclaimed for some time now.
Yeah, no kidding. He's one of the best inkers out there. He's inked some of the best names in comics, like Bernie Wrightson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He was the co-editor of Marvel Knights with Joe Quesada. And he's been doing amazing work just on his own with his own properties. He's got the best run in the modern era of Jonah Hex. Him and Amanda do great work together. Yeah, Jimmy, come on, man.
I don't know if he was just
so humble. He's so humble. It's so annoying. He's so humble.
If you follow him on social media, he really is a humble dude. Like, he's just, very much, oh, I'm just here with my wife. Like, he's holding her handbag. I'm like, no, dude, you're a creator too. You know what I mean? But he's, and you know what? I think that's, that's nice. That's refreshing. Because, if I could drive, it's insufferable.
You already are.
I already are. And I have no talent whatsoever.
All right, next up we have Green Arrow number 5, signed by JT Kroll. And we've got this for $15.
I'm glad somebody claimed that Jennifer Blood cover. It's very cool.
You're not glad, dude. You were ready to take that home, man.
No, like I said, I had Rachel. I'll just say this: Rachel signs a lot of books for me. I'll just leave it at that. So no, if to give somebody else a chance to get one, I'm happy to do it. I mean,
she needs to do a Green Hornet cosplay, and you would just lose your mind, bro.
Her and I
You would just ask me for a blank. Okay, and then send it to her to be signed.
I actually talked about, because Rachel is many things, but she's not tall enough to be the Green Hornet. She's the perfect height to be Kato. So I told her to find another taller cosplayer to play the Green Hornet, and she will cosplay as Kato. And she started kind of, looking. So when that drops later this year or next year, you're welcome, everybody.
Just imagine that conversation where you're like, honey, you are not Green Hornet. Kato at best. You need to find somebody else.
No, she was the one who said it. I honestly think she's like 4'11". She's super short. If you look at all of her cosplay and the stuff that she posts on the internet or whatever, she's always in like 4-inch heels. She's never.
Well, there's no.
Hey, if they can make Tom Cruise look tall, I'm just saying. ...
The only thing that she has ever cosplayed in her bare feet was Dejah Thoris, because Dejah Thoris is often barefoot, and they were sort of able to just put her image onto
perspective.
A desert storm, right? Yeah, like you don't know.
You can't tell if you don't have something, to how tall a shirt. As you said, Tom Cruise has gotten away with it for years.
When she was doing the Dejah Thoris cosplay, she's like, I know you know John Carter. How big are the white apes? And I'm like, there literally would be two of you, like one on top of each other. I said, the white apes are enormous.
All right. So then the last signed book, Web of Venom, Carnage Born, #1, signed in silver by Tony Cates. Suggested retail of $70. We've got it tonight for $35.
Let's just put them in the car.
There you go. Lars, man, what's up, man? How are you?
Nice.
All right. So let's do, what should we do? Should we do a quick rec?
That has been mentioned to Nick more than once.
A cookbook?
No, an essential
cookbook?
Cosplays.
It's probably not a bad
the way we have like the John Cassaday essential or whatever, the covers of Alex Ross, the cover of whoever. It's been suggested to him more than once that we should do a collection of cosplays.
I think y'all should do some cookbooks. I can imagine the Vampirella cookbook, like a nice recipe for a Bloody Mary, and then there'd be a DuckTales, Darkwing Duck, Collected Duck Universe cookbook with just how to cook different types of duck.
Oh, Mega Duck Orange.
Oh my God. All right. So you would have to write it.
As soon as Kyle Gear shifts
as
soon as Kyle Gear shifts this losing proposition of comics into a culinary channel, we're all set.
Dude, the crossover is there. I'm not even kidding. We sell cookbooks at my shop, like, because they have like a D&D cookbook. They get like a Witcher cookbook, like anything. I mean, there's crazy cookbooks for like whatever. And it's just a regular cookbook, but they theme it in a certain way. You should start thinking about some ideas, dude. A Dynamite cookbook. I know we could push some units on that, man.
Tacoma, I have a lot of Elvira stuff I've collected over the years. I have a feeling that she did a cookbook, but I might be wrong. I've got a couple books that she's done, like how to dress or whatever, and it's literally just, her being her, and I'm fine, throwing the money away for that. But
the Dynamite cookbook would just be a bunch of steak. You're right. Dude, Nick has been, what is up with Nick lately, dude? This guy's like every night he's like, a little modest dinner, steak and lobster, and like it's just like it looks like he's living his best food life right now, dude. It's so good.
Nick is super modest and humble, but I'm not. I'll just say whatever I want to. Nick spends so much time year after year, goes nowhere, does nothing, just kind of doing business. It's super cool to see him now, take his girlfriend out to dinner or whatever he wants to do, right? His family, he's spending time doing other stuff.
It's great, dude. The food porn from Nick on his socials is amazing. Yes! I love it. It's become one of my favorite things, dude.
Justin, you're right. All those years of choking down like produce on bread, now he's like, bring me a steak.
So you would have to write the recipes for the book, because at the end of the day, if Nick wrote the recipes, at the end of it, it would be a picture of, filet mignon, go to restaurant, okay. Duck à l'orange, go to restaurant. That would be the entire content of it.
My favorite thing is when Nick forgets to take the before picture. He still shares the after picture. I love it.
Peasant, this is the plate you see with scraps, but in reality, there is a lovely fillet on here.
All right, so let's do a quick Rex cap. Let's see here. All right, so
Yeah, on the cookbook. If John wrote the Dynamite cookbook, it'd be like step 1, bacon grease.
You know what? It's true, and
I know we're just making cotton candy, but bacon grease is essential. I promise you.
Bacon cotton candy would sell. You know what? 2 weeks ago I made the bacon fat popcorn again. We were down ashore and it got chilly one night, and they were going to close the doors. I said, "Don't leave the doors open." And they fired up the little wood fire thing, and a huge amount of bacon grease, like bloop, right into it. The thing. Everyone's like, "Are you making breakfast popcorn?" Sort of. This one got a little bit of brown sugar in it, so it was both bacony and sweet.
Nice.
It's amazing. It is amazing the things you think of. So, you had to kick somebody off. I never see the controversial posts on your Facebook page.
In my food group?
Yeah, no, I see you kicking somebody off, but you've already deleted the comments, so I don't know what the hell they said.
There's just stuff that doesn't. A lot of Facebook groups, people can just say whatever they want to say. The admin doesn't care. This particular group that my friend created, she doesn't want there to be any negative comments. If you ate somewhere and you didn't like it, go tell anybody else. All I want in this group, this one group, is to tell me what you did like. That's it. And for 99% of the people in the group, and it's like 160,000 people now, they're fine with that. They love it. It's positive. It's great. There's always a few hundred people that are like, I'm going to die on this hill of posting negative comments. Oh, okay. Then, die on the hill. I just, we call it going off to the phantom zone. You are done. Post wherever you want. Knock yourself out. Oh, you're censoring me. Do it elsewhere, man.
You click a button, all of a sudden they're like, no.
Usually the comments aren't even valid. It's not like I went there and received poor service. It's like, I'm not going to that ghetto part of town where the servers got neon green and I could barely understand her because her accent's too heavy. Oh, no. All that just pull the plug on all that, man. It's, none of that I'm interested in.
So I will say that Alex's favorite restaurant in the area, somebody posted over the weekend. #1 Chinese kitchen on Church.
Oh, my buddy has gone there. His dad used to be a chef in a Chinese restaurant. Mm-hmm. And my buddy, he's like first generation American, came from, I'm trying to remember, not Taiwan. I'm trying to remember where he came from. But, like they know the food. They know the cuisine, right? And people are arguing with him. Like, oh, I don't think that Chinese food is good or authentic. Well, dude, he literally spent years living in different parts of China.
It's because that person thinks chop suey is authentic Chinese food. You know what I'm saying? So there's no accounting for it.
It would be at P.F. Chang's, and I'm like, oh, okay, we're done. Now,
they are.
That's not authentic Chinese food if it's not covered in some kind of syrup.
John and Marilyn, right?
Yeah.
They're pretty militant. They do police a lot. I'm part of a bunch of groups. Travel group, obviously Infinite Softball.
Well, now people report the stuff. People like the positivity.
No. What I'm saying is you guys are very proactive about it, because I know that in some of the groups I am, there was actually one group where they were complaining that the admins were not dealing with it. So I think it's a good thing. And I think there are enough negative food groups out there.
Yes. There's IHateThis.com. Go, man. Go ahead. I hope they're a success. I don't wish anybody badly. I just don't want to read that. I was a member of Yelp for about 8 hours. At the time, I was still working, and as a professional, I thought I should keep my ear to the ground and see what they were doing. And I realized it was mostly unqualified opinions, unsubstantiated claims, my boy told me, like, you didn't even go into the restaurant, but yet you're trashing it. I didn't need to be any part of that.
So I know. I think, number one, I discovered like I told you, that place that's the one that had Sandoz sandwiches.
Oh,
I got somebody Marilyn posted it.
Yeah, pecan.
I had to eat one just like she did. It was excellent. But I'm sitting at home on a weekend, and I'm hungry, so I'm just looking through Facebook, and then somebody had gone there to eat. So I'm like, well, that's not too far.
Yeah, no, it's not.
So I looked around, went out there. I should have ordered ahead, but what do you do? So it was excellent. I really loved it. And you got to understand, a sando is a Japanese sandwich, and it's between two pieces of bread.
It's not milk bread though. It's like
milk bread, but
it's like a sandwich from a better alternate reality than here.
So the one thing about Japanese sandwiches or sandos is they are all symmetrically cut. The crust is gone. They are symmetrically cut to the point where they're so even they can put them in those boxes with no problem, right? Where they're standing up next to each other. And it was something I ended up really loving going to Taiwan, because the 7-Elevens, the convenience stores would have the prepackaged sandos in the freezer. Right? Or not the freezer, but the fridge. And, just like any other kind of convenience store, you would open the door, pull out a sando. I gotta tell you, so happy one opened around the corner for me. But what I love about the site that they do is there is that positive nature, okay? And I like the rule where if you don't have anything good to say, just keep it to yourself, okay? You hated the place, unless they... Unless, I don't know, the owner took a frying pan and cracked over their head. I would suggest you report that to the police.
We live in a world where there's already too much complaining. I don't want to be somewhere where you're adding to it.
So, Commander in Beef, my father was from Taiwan. My mom was from Hong Kong. But my father has just moved, well, not just, it's been about 20 years, moved back to Taiwan to retire. So yes, I am Taiwan. I am I identify, well, obviously American, but I identify as a Taiwanese. I am not a big fan of the People's Republic of China for a lot of different reasons, but primarily the way the government has acted in the last 30 years. And I say that openly, which means that now we will get Comcasted, because they got
you are going to get us shut off.
They got people everywhere, man. They can sabotage this channel in no time flat.
Robbie,
it just happened.
Robbie, at this point, you should say, "Hey, are you guys still there?"
They got to Jay. They got to Jay, man. Jay's gone.
To switch gears a little bit, Jay mentioned the Superman documentary about Christopher Reeve. If the documentary is even 10% as potent as the preview, I'm all in. You can just bill me now and I'll download it when it's done. There's a kind of thing around Christopher Reeve. Like, I know unkind people say it's a cult of personality, but I think that's fairly accurate. For multiple generations, he's Superman. It's just, and I'm not hitting Henry Cavill or any of these other people that played Superman or will play Superman, but basically from like 15 to 50, Christopher Reeve is Superman.
Yeah.
And I think that's why when you get people who draw Superman like Christopher Reeve, those books sell.
You gotta remember,
like Superman 1978. I got that right, Robbie?
Yeah, that movie was made in the era where these movies were really crappy. Okay, and the only other Superman we really got to experience live action was the George Reeves Superman,
who did his level best.
You could tell. You know what's funny?
Black and white TV, wool costume.
Well, I watch it every weekend on Heroes and Icons. Right? It's on Sundays, I think Saturdays, whatever. And when you watch it like that, so usually show 2 episodes in a row, right?
Yeah.
So one thing I noticed was the early ones with the different Lois Lane.
Yeah.
Switched the actresses midway. All right. What was interesting was they clearly had a much bigger budget to start.
Yes.
And then somebody cut the budget.
Further down, they cut the budget, and it just
because when it was still black and white, I saw this one, and it's like it wasn't great. I mean, think of the timing, but it was him flying. You could see the cityscape in the background.
Yeah.
And then towards the later, it turned out to be just whoosh. You got stuff going past real fast, and George Reed's going like this, and so
People always ask me what's my favorite iteration of Superman when we talk about the character. My favorite iteration of Superman by far is the Fleischer cartoons. So the further they move away from the Fleischer cartoons, the harder it is for me to connect with Superman.
Well, that's been decades, John. They've been moving away from that for decades, man.
I know that. Well, that's why I've said this before. I said this a bunch of times. I said this a virtual panel we did a few years ago on Twitter for comics. I love DC characters too much to read their comics. Invariably, they will do things that I don't like. So I don't expect them to make comics for me, but I just can't. Every once in a while, they'll do something like they did Batman 66, which I loved. They did Superman 78, which I loved. But for the most part, they're just not going to do that.
Well, yeah, a lot of it's generational, right? We all have our favorites.
Yeah.
Like my favorite Superman is John Byrne's Superman, right? Because that was the first Superman that I was really reading, and a lot of that was informed from the Christopher Reeve performance in those Richard Donner movies. Tom Mankiewicz, right? We recently had Joe Casey on the channel. He's doing a great job with Johnny Quest right now. And Joe's super cool dude. And, he just got done with a Zod book. And he said that was like his tribute to like Tom Mankiewicz and Richard Donner, and just that had the power of that Superman movie that they did. That has stood the test of time, more so than many other comic book movies, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there are runs of Superman that you almost kind of forget because they're just not, I guess there's no way to say this kindly, they're just not very memorable. And it's the same with the Legion of Superheroes. There are runs of the Legion of Superheroes which are amazing. And there's a lot of kind of filler there, dead space, where you're just like, it's a sigh because it's clear that the person is trying. But Mark Waid said this several years ago at a con. Maybe more than any other property DC has, if you're going to make Legion of Superheroes successful, you have to understand the Legion of Superheroes.
Anything sell? I was just curious.
Yeah, no. Do we have any of the whatchamacallit stuff? Where all the sketch covers go?
Affleck played both Batman and Superman.
Yes, he did. Hollywood Land.
All right, we got 35 people watching, 19 likes. If we get to 40 likes, we will give away this Witchblade 2000 card signed by Christina Z, number 99 out of 100. So all you got to do is get to 40 likes.
Everyone gets one who makes a purchase?
No, it's a contest.
Oh, all right.
Hashtag get us to 40.
Get us to 40.
Well, probably for Jay's sake, we can just stick with the same hashtag. We'll just make a second giveaway.
Oh, okay. What's the first giveaway?
The Red Sonja, right here.
Oh, okay. Mannix Metal. It's on the list. It's on the list.
No, it's already done. It's already packed up and ready to go for him.
Did he buy it?
Yeah, he asked for last week.
He keeps asking for it.
Yeah, I told him I did the invoice.
He's going over your head, Rex, man.
him.
He's got the boss in the room now, man. He's like, I want my Mannix Metal.
I told you at the beginning of the show, I got it done for you, dude.
40 likes. Come on.
If we get 100 likes, you can have a steak dinner with Nick, but you're paying. So
No. I tell you what, I was born in 69. For 69 likes, you can pay for the steak. For 100 likes, I'll buy the steak.
Nice.
So John made up a great story. He should pitch it. Oh boy, I'm in trouble.
Oh, I'm sorry, Marcus. You're right. Yeah, no, that's right. He asked you for metal. Is there a Mannix Metal?
They are in the works.
Okay. No. All right. So there you go. Sorry, you're right, Marcus. You asked for the foil, which is packed up and ready to go.
All right, John, I'll have to hold this.
All right. So yeah, sorry about that.
Get us to 40. See, Leonard Pig said get us to 40.
I gotta get to 40 likes. So Jay, you'll let me know because it doesn't refresh on mine. All right. So here we go. All right. So quick recap. So the DF mystery box. So 2 CGC 9.8s, 1 virgin cover, 1 side cover, 1 exclusive cover, and 10 back issues. a guaranteed minimum value of $200 at retail. We usually sell for $100, and tonight I'm selling it for $85.
Nice.
Marcus, it might be a while, but I can. So let me see. It may be a while, buddy, because I know it doesn't. It's not. All right, you got it, Lars, man.
Nice.
So I know that. I don't know if it's actually hit production yet, but I will tell you that. So let me know, buddy. I can certainly hold it for you. You know it. All right. So then we got Spider-Gwen Shadow Clones #1 with Ghost Spiders cover sketch by Kirstine Danica Lim. Love her stuff.
This is very cool.
Wish we could get more of it quicker. Marcus, I don't know. I will try to find out for you tomorrow, though. All right. So do me a favor, Marcus. Shoot me an email, bud. You can just respond when I send the invoice out to you for the foil. All right. It's just a retail of $129.99. We had it 75. I lowered that to 70.
I can't believe nobody's picked this one up yet.
Yeah, I'm surprised. This one's pretty unique.
All right. So then we got Deadpool #1 with Deadpool cover sketch by Will Torres. It's just a retail of $129.99. We had a price at 75. I lowered that to 35, and then I lowered that again to 30.
Come on, y'all. That's Canada's ass right there. Somebody's got to buy that.
All right.
Can I say that here? I'm my bad if I can't.
So, all right. So now we got G.I. Joe #301 with Snake Eyes cover sketch by Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $149.99. We have for 82, but I lowered that to 70. All right. Then we've got Turok Dinosaur Hunter #3 signed by Greg Pak. Suggested retail of $49.99. We had it at 25. I'll lower that to 20. Then we've got Thundercats #2. Cover A, David Nakayama, signed by Declan Shalvey. It is a Dynamite.com exclusive, and we have that for $24.99. I'll tell you what, one time only, I'll make this 20.
Oh, 20. Somebody buy that.
All right, so then we've got Spawn #300.
Lars Man wants Deadpool.
You got it, Lars Man.
Yeah, everybody wants Deadpool. We got.
So Lars Man has been the traveling man, apparently. So.
Oh, do you like road tripping or something?
Well, he travels for work all the time.
Oh.
That's how he ended up here that one time. He had an account somewhere in this area and just popped in on us. It was cool.
That's neat.
It was very cool. Of course, I thought it was, I swear, I thought it was like, another salesman trying to sell something. And he goes, hey, it's Lars Man.
By the way, Jay says if we're counting Facebook, we have 37 likes. My only question is, in a row?
All right. So see,
I'm funny. I'm funny, right, guys? I'm comedic. Would you guys say I'm comedic? I think I'm comedic.
We're going to have to get into that a little bit later. There's like 27 categories to vote for Robbie in. And then
I saw that. Oh,
and at least half the people in the chat now are content creators better than us. So I'm not sure why we're doing this job anymore. You got Castle's Corner. You've got Triple B short, like unboxing videos. I honestly am not sure why we're bothering to do this show anymore. They can entertain themselves. Robbie does at least 19 hours of PCP programming per day.
Because you have nothing better than watching.
I can imagine going into a store and saying, hi, I'm here for my trophies.
All right. So suggested retail of $69.99. We have 35. I'll make this one 30 tonight.
I really think the world was needing Castle's Corner, though. I really do. This sort of quick, unvarnished sort of, this isn't good. Moving on. I just think we need that because we have too much YouTube content where people take 3 hours to tell you the book isn't good.
Yeah.
And John is just like, no, man.
This world needs Spilio as much as the comic industry needs Greg Capullo and you to buy this signed comic. Come on, y'all. Greg Capullo, one of the greatest ever. Wolverine Revenge just dropped. This guy still got it, man. Still got it.
Yeah, there's a couple things I'm surprised are still here. This I'm really surprised is still here, and I'm surprised nobody took that Spider-Gwen book.
What's the number on this one? Is that a 2 or a 3 out of 60?
That's an old photo. So the one that we actually have for sale is probably not the same number. So I think it was 9 or 10. I'm not sure.
Still a low number.
Yeah, it's a nice little number.
That's before his wrist gets tired and it starts getting sloppy with the signature, right?
I know, right?
That's in the sweet spot.
So, okay. So next up, we got the Invincible Red Sonja, #1. Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor, signed Atlas Edition.
The critically acclaimed Jimmy Palmiotti is how he will be identified on this show.
Yeah, prove that Jimmy is acclaimed by buying this book tonight. Come on, y'all. He needs the ego boost. Let's do it.
Suggested retail of $75. We have it for $40. I will lower that to $35.
And Rex is being nice to y'all and lowering prices. Come on, y'all. Come on.
All right. So then we have Green Arrow #5, signed by JT Kroll. We have it at $15. I'll lower that to $10.
$10.
Yes.
$10 is worth that cover alone. That cover is amazing, dude.
All right. So then we got Web of Venom, Carnage Porn #1, signed in silver by Donnie Cates. Suggested retail of $69.99. We have for $35. I'll lower that to $30.
With that signature, at some point, he's going to have to work for DC, right?
Right. At first, I thought Rex said Carnage Porn, and I was like, be careful, dude. We don't want to get banned again.
Again with this? I don't want to be in the room.
All right. So, all right. We have last week's books, and then we have this week. Only one title released this week, Negaduck. And then we got some incentives. We crossover from last week, which people have had some pretty big interest in. All right, so let's do last week's books. So Thundercats #7 was available for $4.99 or higher. And the Mannix cover, if you're interested, like Marcus, you can request that. The pick is not up there, but we do have the Mannix foil. All right, so we have Thundercats #7 for $4.99 or higher, depending on which cover you get. All right, so then
I've been loving y'all's Thundercats book, but I was really not looking forward to the Wily Kit issue, and it was the best issue yet, in my opinion. I loved it. It was so good.
That was really a hard sort of. Let's be honest. I don't think anybody was looking forward to that.
All right.
It's better than a Snarf-centric issue, but I think Declan could even nail that one now, man. I mean, that creative team is really firing off. Really is.
Yeah, they're kind of in the they're like in the sweet spot right now where they want to be.
All right. So next up, we had Powerpuff Girls #2, released last week. $4.99 cover price or higher, depending on the cover. And just go ahead and put in the chat or the submission form which cover you want.
Y'all know you want that Ken Hazer cover. Come on.
But the vast majority of them are cover price at $4.99.
Such a great issue. Y'all knocked it out of the park again. Kelly did a great job with it. And if we do a Dynamite cookbook, Buttercup's Tea Party, John, start thinking about that. Recipes for those cucumber sandwiches that Mojo Jojo loves so much.
Sandwiches and stuff like that.
What's in a cucumber sandwich? Like cucumber what? Like, is it like a cream cheese or something like that?
Generally, yeah. The ones I've seen are like a cream cheese. Sometimes somebody will put in a little fresh herb or something. I mean, they're super tasty. I just don't think of them as sandwiches. You know what I mean? This is like, the home of the fat. So when I see a sandwich that's like this big, I'm like, it's very tasty and I certainly appreciate it, but, it feels like a cabinet.
All right. So, okay, we are at 40. So we will give away the card. All right. We will draw that.
I hope there are people in the chat that have like 19 emails registered. So they're just like, oh, we're getting this.
And don't forget, we get to 69 likes. You get to buy Nick a steak dinner.
one way to make sure we don't get there, right?
Unfortunately, that would be a bad deal for Nick because it would be worth it for me to pay the steak for having to have to sit there at a table for an hour and listen to my endless Green Hornet pitches.
If I won, I'd be like, we're going to Applebee's, bro.
Their flat steak special.
It's your $5.99 cheesesteak quesadilla thing. Oh my goodness.
All right. So then we also had Justice Sucks number 5, released last week, $4.99 or higher, depending on the cover. And again, same deal. Oh, and I wanted to shout out, if you are watching this on Rewind, go ahead and fill out submission form if there's something you're interested in. If it is still available, we will honor the price. All right.
Me too. Cucumber on pizza isn't that different than pickle on pizza, and pickle on pizza is like a thing right now.
Pickle on pizza works, man. It really does.
You see people, it's pickle, and it's usually a different, like a blend. It's not straight mozzarella. They usually mix it up with something, and then you kind of get the swirl of ranch. People love that. There's just shop right over on Warren Highway. They sold 22 the first day they announced they had it.
I tell you what, whether it's a sandwich or whether it's a pizza, I have found that the combination of pickle and jalapeno and ranch is just amazing to me. Just amazing.
Robbie, you just named what will be the PCP Lay's potato chip flavor for next year.
Yes, pickle, jalapeno, ranch. Sounds great.
All right. So we were talking about the world. I don't know if anybody watched TJ. Actually, Amy kind of is in charge of that, connecting with Spencer and Skylar. So TJ, if you could, go ahead and send me and Amy an email. I know you have our email, and we'll be able to answer that question for you a little bit better that way. Okay. So yeah, I don't really keep track of that part as to whether or not the original art, the remarks have been set. All right, thanks, buddy. So has anybody been watching the Little League World Series? Just out of curiosity.
I have not.
Right. So it's relevant only because Taiwan was in the finals against Florida. Okay, yesterday, Florida won 2-1. The reason I mention it is in the semifinals, you had to see, they stole home, and I got to tell you, the person on third did not look like he was the quickest, and he wasn't. So it was amazing. It was Tacoma, the bunt. Yeah, nobody covering. That's what you get with 12 and 13-year-olds. The Mystics were not in it.
That's why we didn't watch it.
What?
The Mystics weren't in it, so why do we care?
Well, first of all, we play softball and we don't play Little League.
It's all the same.
I don't think there's a single thing in baseball or softball that's easy, especially for the top tier athletes. But stealing home is one of the hardest things to accomplish. Man, it really is. And when I remember when Jacoby Ellsbury did it as a Red Sox against the Yankees, they still play that clip every year, and it still like hurts me. Like it's so embarrassing to get stolen home, man.
So, CJ, actually what happened was the pitcher had his back turned and was not paying attention. With a runner on third, you should be paying attention.
Ooh. Coach Rex giving him.
I got to tell you, you got it.
If you're a right-handed pitcher, you're literally looking right there, right?
The coach. That was a good call. It was a tight game all the way through. He made that call. He saw that the pitcher was not paying attention. Corey, I most certainly did not. I did, however, have Jackie Robinson's rookie bat at one time. I didn't own it, but I had to take it. I had to take it home to. It's my previous job. There was an event for the Jackie Robinson Foundation, so we had the bat displayed there, and somebody had to drive all that crap back to the office.
Oh, I was going to say, because when I take stuff home that doesn't belong to me, you take a dim view of that.
And
dude, I imagine if you take the Jackie Robinson rookie bat home, you just set it up and stare at it all night until you have to leave with it, right? You just like that's amazing.
When you deal in that kind of product, most of your career, you kind of just.
I was going to say that's like every day.
Oh, whatever, Rex. I mean, you can't tell me that you didn't choke up on it and just do a good swing in the living room.
I did not, but there is a picture of my daughter in my house because when I got home that night, when she woke up in the morning, of her holding the Jackie Robinson bat. So I had to do that. Okay. So I do have a picture of her with the bat in hand. Yeah, I know, Marcus. Yeah, the guy playing second didn't cover first. They're 12 and 13. Okay. It was a brain fart. It happened.
He's not even a guy. He's a kid.
Yeah, he's a kid. They're
He's
children,
a kid.
for God's sakes. So I understand that
these kids need to understand situational baseball, Rex. Don't cut them no slack. Come on.
So
Coach Robbie's worse than Coach Rex.
The kid was probably crushed.
Robbie's in the kid's face. You're going to win 0 trophies that way.
You're
0.
never going to make it to the show now.
Hey, listen, they have a tough road from that standpoint, from the Asia Pacific. It's tough for them because in the U.S., the path is pretty straightforward. And it's not saying it's easy. It's by no means easy.
No, but it's more obvious.
But it's straightforward. Okay, you're going to play in college. You're going to play in minors. You're going to know real fast. Okay, do I have any future or don't I? Right. For them, it's a little harder. In Asia Pacific, the best you can hope for is to end up playing in Japan and get noticed there.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's tough. Oh, I'm sorry, Jay. We
have to go to our break.
We do. Last final break, and we'll be back
in a little bit to flog Robbie's award thing in just a few minutes. Thanks, everybody.
Whoa. Did you miss it? Yeah, they can go by pretty fast. Let's slow down the footage.
Welcome. It's time to skim some comics. Miles Morales Spider-Man, I will just tell you that Miles is very important in his role as a vampire. So
It's fine. If you like Hercules, read it. If you don't like it, don't worry about it. It's fine.
The art is still stunning. There's a panel, little spoiler, there's a panel in this where Chitauri first hits Lion-O, and he is the best "did she really just hit me" face I've ever seen put in a comic book.
Wow, live reviews of new comic books so you can be ready for New Comic Book Day. What is this? Oh, I see. It's Minute to Skim It. Part of the experience.
Programming on the EXP is made possible by viewers like you, or your local comic shop, or that Kickstarter you backed, or the publisher you like, or comic industry professionals who want to share a message with the world. Really, anyone who wants to advertise with us can. If you're interested in seeing a product you know and love, or are creating, or are publishing, or are involved with, advertised here on The Experience, and having your message shared with our viewers, please reach out by scanning the QR code below or visiting our website and using the contact form. Download our app on Google Play and the App Store. It's so simple, even my mommy can use it.
Hey, all right. So
let's get the most important stuff out of the way first.
So,
Robbie, go to the links. He'll put it up there. Vote for him for everything. We figure if we vote for him 25 things, at least half of them he's going to win. So don't forget that. Next thing, Castle's Corner. Go watch that because that is just. I don't even care if you don't like comics. He's just a likable dude, and there's sort of like he has that. Castle has that element in pro wrestling. He's over. You don't even know why. You don't even care what he's saying, but it's entertaining, so you watch it, right? And
Spilio's doing a great job with those.
He's doing a great job on that. And I'll tell you, if you want to see an authentic unboxing show, go find out wherever Triple B is. This is someone who legitimately bought stuff that he liked, not that he was told to, not that he was comped to. Knows what he's talking about when he takes stuff out of there and legitimately enjoys it. It's like,
Yeah, I think he's got a live unboxing tonight, right?
They're live unboxing tonight. I think at 8 Central, Eastern. Time zones are hard, but later, yeah, there it is. Jay just put it up. Thank you, Jay.
Oh, right after our show, 7 Central. There you go.
As soon as we're done here, pop on over and watch Triple B open stuff up. It's really like the comic book version of The Kid on Christmas Morning. You're like, he's really enjoying this. And there's too many times people have shot me links where they've said, hey, man, watch this unboxing video. And it's clearly obvious that they paid influencer. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's just sort of like if you've seen it once, you've seen it a million times.
Yeah. Yeah, Triple B's authentic. It's not like when I like promote Dynamite books on my show. And no, for real. John Spilio's killing it. Triple B, go check him out. And thank you, John. I really appreciate that. We were nominated 7 times for the CBC Awards this year. So super
there you go.
awesome. Including a controversial one. Rex, I was nominated for most comedic content creators. So
that's why you asked that question.
It's causing drama. It's great. I wasn't nominated for hands though. I feel like I was robbed. So
why is it causing drama?
Because people don't think I'm funny, I guess.
If you watch any of the PCP stuff, I don't think Robbie's trying to do stand-up. He's trying to be approachable and relatable, but I don't think he's doing stand-up or stupid cat tricks or any of this other stuff.
No, I just do that here on this show. I'm trying to earn my keep still here on the Collectables show.
What's that?
CJ should do a video of his drawings. If you follow him on Instagram, and I always get the little messages, he'll be kind of posting some very cool stuff. And it would be neat to maybe see one of those videos where, basically it's just him at the board, or whatever his process is. That would be, I'm always fascinated by that because I have no sort of artistic skill or whatever. Somebody said, oh, you're a comics fan, you don't draw, you must write. No, I don't really write either. So I just that's why I pay for the books to watch other people do them.
All right, so let's do this.
Oh, nice, Jay.
This week's Dynamite books, we had one title come out this week, Negaduck number 7. So first up, we got Megaduck number 7, cover A by Jay Lee. And we have that for cover price of $4.99. And then we've got Negaduck number 7, cover B by Drew Moss.
That's cool.
Also cover price of $4.99. Then Negaduck number 7, cover C by Trish Forstner. Also a cover price of $4.99. All right, then we've got Negaduck number 7, cover D by Ciro Cangialosi. And we have that at cover price of $4.99.
The Ballad of Hellboy, nice. Robbie's new channel will be sea shanties. Right. He's got to fill that PCP channel 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. empty space. So it'll be PCP sea shanties.
All right, so then we have Negaduck number 7, the action figure cover by Ciro Cangialosi. And that we have at $4.99 as well.
Thank you, number 1 Marvel fan. We appreciate that.
Hey, thanks, Marvel fan. We appreciate it, bud. All right, so let's do the incentives of the night, then we'll do a full Rex cap. All right. So these are incentives that came out last week. We'll have the new ones on Wednesday. All right. So we got Daredevil, The Woman Without Fear, Volume 2, number 2, 125 ratio by Yasmin Putri. And we have it at $10, but you know what? Getting to the end of the show, I'll make that $8.
Nice. That's a striking cover. That's really good work.
It is, isn't it? All right.
That scarf's like Spawn cape level, by the way. I love it.
All right, so then we had Deadpool, Volume 10, number 5, 125 ratio by Yasmin Putri. and we've got that for 15. We only have one of those available.
Marvel has snatched Putri up for real after the success of Dark Knights of Steel. It's a no-brainer.
All right, so then we've got Jenny Sparks, number 1, 125 ratio by Sawi, and we have that for 15.
This was a pretty fun book. I didn't mind it. I thought it was all right.
All right, then we've got Predator versus Black Panther, number 1, 110 ratio by Chris Allen. All right, you got it, John. Let's see, John's claiming that.
I'm sorry. I know that I really want the 20th Century Fox imprint to be successful, but these things where we're going to see a Predator versus Black Panther and Aliens versus Avengers, there is no reality where these characters. I'm sorry. Literally, the Predator would come out, do its thing. Black Panther would hit something on his wrist. He'd be teleported into some holding cell in Wakanda somewhere. That's a comic strip. That's not.
I think because you're a Marvel Unlimited guy, right, John?
I am.
So when you get the chance, definitely check this one out because I really enjoyed this book, right? But the basic premise is that there's a Predator who has a brother. They're rivals to eventually take over the clan, right? When their father passes away, and his brother always has the upper hand because he has this vibranium spear. So he decides to take a clan of Predators to Earth to get as much vibranium as possible. And it was a really solid first issue. And Aliens versus Avengers comes out this week. Assad Ribic and Jonathan Hickman. That seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really
Hickman, that's sort of like sold. Even if I didn't have Marvel Unlimited, that would have been like, okay. And I've done that before. There are times where something comes out and it's so good, I can't wait the 91 days or whatever the heck it is for Marvel Unlimited. I just pop into the store and I'm like, I'm at a point in my life where if I want to spend $5 for something, I just do it. And some of that stuff is absolutely now on Robbie's recommendation. Maybe I'll do that. I looked at this and I thought to myself, you know what? I really dug Dan Jurgens' Superman Aliens 2, and I think Kevin Nolan should cover for that. It might be
I think he did, at least on one of the volumes. They did like 3 or 4 of them, right? They did the Batman and all that stuff too.
Because as soon as I saw that, the Kevin Nolan's name popped into my head. But again, they have to kind of massage this thing where, they're on a world where it's around the red sun or whatever. The Godzilla and Justice League thing. Everybody had the same reaction. If I was Superman, I would have just stood there and allowed Godzilla to step on me, and it would be like a Lego. But they had to kind of massage it to make it cool and interesting.
All right, so Predator versus Black Panther, number 1, 110 ratio by Chris Allen, and we've got that for 8. You know what? I'll make this 6 tonight.
Really?
Yep.
That's like cover price, man. You crazy, Rex? You crazy?
Yeah,
it's a cry for attention. He just wants you to buy.
He's like, I don't have any thoughts about The Crow. Really, I didn't watch it, but look at me, I can cut prices. He didn't get 7 nominations this weekend, but he's able to cut prices. So Rex is the best of all of us.
Such a strong idea, though. It works with everything. We've had Batman and Aliens. We've had Superman and Aliens. We've had Vampirella and Aliens. It works kind of with everything. I'd be fine. I'm happy to pay for like an Aliens Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle book. An alien egg lands in Riverdale. Okay.
Dude, I would love to see Aliens meets Usagi Yojimbo done by Stan Sakai. That would be great.
Oh, wow. You know what? Just take the money, man. Just order me 2. I'll Venmo you the money right now.
All right, then we got Predator versus Black Panther, number 1, 1/100 ratio by Phil Tan. And we have this for 90.
Well, I think the key to this, too, is they have to kind of, like they just had to do with some of the other characters, you have to level this off a little bit. Because eventually, at one point, the Black Panther's tech level in his suit was so high, all he had to do was, like, say something into his mask cowl. You know what I mean? His suit was better than Iron Man's armor. He's if Batman was good. Like, I love the Black Panther.
All right, so I'm gonna lower this to 75. How's that for you?
We do give out a lot of ideas for free.
Maybe we should
And
start
that's
holding some of them back, John. Start our own publisher.
All right. So then we have Venomore Venomous 150 ratio by Derek Chu. And we have that for 40.
Yeah, make two
book
is
was
right.
so good. The art in this book, Luciano Viccio, like big fan of their work right now. Like I cannot believe how good their work is.
This is one of these ideas that I'm like, please don't. I don't want to see Black Widow with like a symbiote.
Right.
And I'm always happy to be like, oh no, I was totally wrong. She should have had a symbiote long ago. This is,
All right. So then we have Wolverine Revenge #1 125 ratio by John Yang. And we've got that for 15, but I'll make it 12.
This Wolverine's ready to play tic-tac-toe. Are you? That was bad. I'm sorry. Don't vote for me for most comedic content creator because that one did not work. I'm sorry.
Trying real hard, isn't he?
now I feel like I have to be funny now.
Jane, anything I had like a stroke last week because they can't find out which Elseworlds that was.
We feel like you're making it up, bro. Like a week of research and nobody's figured out this book.
John, we found it, but you mixed a bunch of stories up together, boss. It's Superman Identity. Yeah, it's called Superman Identity.
Okay,
I believe. But your story was so much better.
Thank you. That's fine. If I misremembered something, I'll be the first to admit I'm old and I've read a lot of books for a long time. So, I feel bad if somebody was legitimately out there, like in the stores or on the internet looking for a book that didn't exist.
All right. So next up, we got Wolverine Revenge #1 125 ratio by Lionel Francis Yu. It's a polybag version.
Oh, man.
And we have this for 40.
Look at this. This is like screaming, you know what? Marvel, when I'm like, I really don't want to buy any Marvel comics. And Marvel's like, watch this.
I love the EC tributes that they've been doing, man, for the Red Band editions. And these are like a lot of shops are hesitant to order so many Red Band editions, right? Even though they're starting to get more popular. They're about to get oversaturated, I think. But at this point right now, the incentives for Red Band editions are very rare. Very rare. That's why a 1 in 25 is going for well over ratio. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
And that's a good price for this book.
Then we have Wolverine
Award Bacon
Revenge.
Press. I like that. The good thing about me and Robbie starting a comic book company, between the two of us, we have a lot of creators in like our contacts list.
We do. John, you put up the money and I'll throw out the ideas and we'll make it work, dude.
You know what? At least once a year we have this conversation when there's a really big lot, like a really big, like $200, $300 million lottery. I always let creators know I'm going to buy a ticket. So just
Alex,
so you know.
So Alex is going to answer your question, Jesse.
There was a question.
Yes.
We have one of these. We have one of these. Don't everyone look at once.
Everyone's
We're all just watching you, Alex. We're just staring at you.
There are definitely a few very, very light spine ticks on this book. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is probably a 9.4, maybe a 9.2 if they want to be, but I would say this is near mint 9.4 in the poly
If
bag.
there's just 4 ticks on there, it might even get a 9.6, man.
Yeah, I'm a harsh grader because I know what they do and don't like. So
Well,
I'd rather be under than over, but yeah, it's probably 6.
Why don't you give me a marker and I'll sign it? I'm sure that will drive up the value.
Yeah, they would have to rip the bag off to grade it 100%, right? Isn't that what they do?
They would have to. So it's very heavily recommended that you, the person submitting the book, remove the poly bag beforehand because you also want to see the book.
Yeah, and don't press it with a poly bag on. I mean, you can if you want, but I wouldn't recommend it.
I mean, if you heat press it with a poly bag on, you're just gonna melt the plastic to the book.
That was my joke, Alex.
It's
Thanks for stepping on it.
now, man.
Oh no, but Robbie, you could cold press it. I just don't know how it go. We do only have one. We have one of these, just one.
All right, so, all right, Wolverine Revenge #1, 1-in-50 ratio by Pablo Villalobos, and we have that for 30.
Looking at his work, it is like the second coming of Adam Hughes to me, man. I love it. I love it.
You think it's just Adam Hughes and he's kind of doing like a second identity or something?
It's just like when Stephen King had what with Richard Bachman or whatever.
Richard Bachman, that's what I was going to say. Are you just Bachmaning us, dude? Because, we can see.
Jesse, yes, you can, but yes, fill out the form. It's pinned at the top of the chat. So the way we work is once you fill out the form, so Jesse, I'm going to write you down for that one, the polybag one.
You fill out the form so Amy doesn't hit us. That's how it works.
All right, so you will make sure to include your email, and we will invoice you. Okay, and just pay off the invoice, and it'll ship a day or two after. Okay, yeah, Jesse, because I don't know if you've claimed with us before. I don't think so. So we would need your address, your ship to, all that good stuff. All right, but yes, you can definitely claim it. It's yours, my man. All right, so last two, Wolverine Revenge #1, 1-in-100 ratio, Stanley Archer and Lau. And we have that for 120. All right. Yeah, thank you, Jesse. And welcome to the group, dude. It's a pretty cool group. It's probably one of the only groups you'll see where people will buy comics for each other. I think last week somebody bought you one.
They bought me one. Yeah, they bought the Blade sketch. Who was that? Was that
Get all of a sudden. Was it Mate too? No. Maybe. I don't know.
Was it CJ? Was it Corey? It was somebody with a C.
No, it was Corey, I think.
I think it was Corey. Mike, thank you. Yeah, Jesse, that's how it works. Mike just said it. If you see something, Rex is like, here, buy this book. I'm risking my job to lower the price. Please buy it. Just claim it. And it goes from there.
All right. Last book of the night.
It was Wolverine Corey. There's Corey. Corey, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Corey.
So Wolverine Revenge #1, 1-in-100, Greg Capullo polybag. And we have that at ratio of 100. All right.
So that book was so great. It was so great. Seeing Greg Capullo just draw a savage Wolverine tail, amazing stuff.
And Capullo used his own arm as the model, I'm assuming here.
Yeah, right. It looks like it, doesn't it?
He's just drawing.
You're quite comedic too, John Cole. Just so you know.
For people that don't know, Greg Capullo occasionally goes to the gym. If you've seen him at a con,
I think occasionally he draws. He lives at the gym, and occasionally he draws.
He's a super fit guy. He really is.
So we should have him in Castle arm wrestles.
Oh my god!
Castle's a big dude, but I think Castle would have to really get in some over the top shape for that one, personally.
Just watch the movie with Sly Stallone in it.
That movie's I love that movie, dude. That's some of the most expensive action figures from the 80s, too, is Over the Top. I'm telling you, man. It's ridiculous.
All right. So, Jay, my friend.
Do you want to spin the...
Yeah, we're going to spin the wheel. All right. First, we're going to draw the Red Sonja #2.
At least something will come from this good from this Crow movie.
Yeah. Good luck, everybody.
Good luck, everybody.
Hey!
Marcus, congratulations.
Marcus.
Funny guy, Marcus. Marcus, you're the most comedic person in the chat sometimes, I think.
Hey, Marcus, I'll just send you the foil with your winning, so I don't have to hold the book. All right? So that'll work just fine.
Congratulations.
All right, because we pay for the shipping on the giveaway. All right, and then second up is the card. What was the card again?
It is a Witchblade card from, I think, 2000 or 2001.
Signed by who?
I thought it was a Red Sonja card.
No, it's a Witchblade card.
Okay.
All right.
There was a second card attached to it. Thanks for me. I can't see who signed that.
And the winner is Lyle. Lyle,
Nice.
congrats.
Wow, congratulations.
All right, so there we go. All right. Actually, I got to email Lyle's wife. I just realized.
Witch Sonja would be a great book. I would love to see Red Sonja with the Witchblade Gauntlet. That I'd be fun. Let's get the publisher in here and get these contracts signed, right?
All right, so
congratulations, guys. I'm super glad when our people win stuff.
Me too. All right, so now again, reminder: Robbie's Horror Fest is tonight at what time again? 9 p.m.
It's around the clock. It's just
9
on.
Eastern. 9 Eastern, yeah.
9 Eastern.
Horror Fest is like
on
Carnival.
Pop Culture Philosophers. There's a link right there. All right. Not only is he entertaining, he's comedic. So
some would say.
So did you make the best hair category again?
Of course he did.
No, I didn't campaign for best hair, but I wanted best hands, but I didn't get it. I feel like I was robbed, but I'm not going to complain. 7 nominations is the most we've ever gotten, so very, very excited for that.
All right, so
I was nominated for best live stream for Rock and Robbie Live, and that's something I'm super proud of. So please go vote for me for that, please.
All right, so Triple B is doing his unboxing immediately after this show.
Go check out Castle's Corner if you haven't.
Yeah, Castle's Corner, the shorts on the XP.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Very,
We've
very
talented
entertaining.
people in the chat, man. We really do. Like I said, I'm not sure why we're doing this anymore.
So, Jay, what else do we have coming up on the XP after everything?
So after you get done watching Triple B's live unboxing video, the link is in the chat. And then when you're done watching the always great PCP movie night with the very comedic Rock and Robbie, at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, we are going to have Best Coast Comics. And today they're going to be talking about just a bunch of different things, but the main topic is how much for an autograph?
Oh, is it $20,000 if you're Jim Lee? 20K.
That's a lot.
I'll bottom line it for you. It's 20K.
So
Slightly less if it's Robbie, but if it's Jim Lee, it's 20K.
For me, it's a shot of tequila. That's what.
So keep in mind, we are back on Wednesday at 7 p.m. on the XP. Catch Robbie tonight, catch Triple B, and then, of course, come on back to the experience. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
Thanks, everybody. Jay, thank you for pushing the buttons. I'm sorry.
As always.
Poor Jay spent a week looking for a comic that I misremembered. Sorry about that, bud.
Hey, like I said, your description was so much better, man. Take out a couple parts of it and pitch that idea to somebody.
No, well, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Robbie and John.
Castle, don't forget, check out Castle's Corner. Robbie, thanks, everybody. We love doing the show. Congratulations to the winners.
Have a great week, everyone.
Join the party. Head over to our Linktree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.